Are coming off of a record number of injuries last year, with more than 5,300 officers injured in 2023 alone, and over 1,200 of them in just the last 3 months of the year. This comes as the NYPD is facing a growing police shortage as officers are fleeing in droves. Let's bring in New York Republican Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. Congresswoman, thanks for being here. This is a situation you know about all too well. Why are so many more police officers leaving the force?
Well, look, the Democrats that run our city and our state have made it impossible for the police officers to do their job. They want to get bad people off the street, the police officers, and when they have their hands tied, whether it's the bail laws, whether it's things like taking away their qualified immunity protections, whether it's inability to cooperate with ICE to deport people who are here legally and committing crimes, it's tragic. And the chart that you showed, I think, was very important to look at, because you've seen a double-digit increase year after year since the 2020 defund the police movement. And here in New York City, you're talking about nearly 20% of our cops, between 15 and 20% of the cops that are being attacked. And it's no, I think, surprise to people that the borough in which we're seeing the most attacks of our NYPD is the borough of the Bronx, which is represented by people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Jamal Bowman, people who have purposely come out against our police and supported the defund the police movement. So I think there's a lack of leadership from our local elected officials.
And Paul Morrow was talking about this morning, and he said, you know, he feels for these officers. They're out there trying to do their job, and everything they do is just completely undone before their very eyes. This was Morrow this morning.
The arrests in Manhattan are up 1/3. So what does that tell you? They got the cops working. These guys are out there. They're trying to do the job, and yet everything they do is instantaneously undone in front of their eyes.
Man, you look at the DA, Alvin Bragg, felony cases downgraded by the Manhattan DA, 2023, 938, 60% of them. You look at 2020, these numbers are only going up. So when police see that this is happening and criminals are just let free to walk and roam the streets, how can they think that they can be out there effectively doing their job?
Think about the low morale of the police officers when they make an arrest. They know this person should be behind bars, and then they see that person being released before their shift is even over. And it is a combination of the left-wing policies of Albany and Kathy Hochul, of City Hall as well. But then you see the DAs, like you mentioned, that aren't prosecuting crimes as they could be. The only reason those individuals who were here illegally and attacked our police officers were then arrested and charged was because there was such outrage from the community. But if not, Bragg would have just let them back on the street. He probably wouldn't even be prosecuting them. And that's the problem. That was the one that we heard about. Yeah. But there's so many other officers that are being attacked each and every day, and we don't even know about it. So unless the media is highlighting it, it's a shame. So these police officers, I do feel bad for them, because it's really hard to do your job in New York City. And you would think in a post-9/11 world that we would have more respect and appreciation and give our police officers the tools that they need and not hold back, particularly when it comes to cooperating with federal authorities.
And even the mayor here lamenting that his hands are tied, and he's sort of looping it all in with the migration crisis, you know, the illegal immigrants, some of which have been committing some of these crimes. Here was New York City Mayor Eric Adams. He was on this Fox Nation special, The Sanctuary Trap. Listen to what we heard here.
Let's think about what a sanctuary city is. It is a place you can come and you're not going to be prosecuted, you're not going to be harmed. The law states that we cannot notify ICE. I cannot break the law and enforce the law.
Man, so how do you fix the problem?
Well, the mayor should be putting a bill before the city council asking them to repeal that so NYPD can cooperate and deport people who are here committing crimes. But I also have a problem with the mayor because he continues to house these individuals. So somebody gets arrested for a crime. We had one woman 8 times arrested, released repeatedly, and then she goes back to the luxury hotel room that we, the people, are paying for in the form of our tax dollars. So the mayor couldn't do something more here to not incentivize people to come to New York City, and certainly not giving free luxury hotel rooms to people who are committing crimes in our city. So, you know, I know he talks a lot, but at the end of the day, there is something that the mayor can do to end this crisis and stop incentivizing it.
You certainly have sort of seen him change his tune as this crisis has worsened here in the city. Congresswoman, good of you to be here. Thanks for joining us. Okay.